Join me as we learn Chumash for today, Monday, the Torah reading, the second Torah reading of Beshalach. Yesterday we learned as the Jewish people were 3 days into their journey, God told them to take an awkward way. Thereby they should not have to come into any type of wars. However, Pharaoh, hearing that the Jewish people are, so to speak, stuck, that God told them to wait by Baal Zephon, Pharaoh convinces the rest of his nation that it's time for us to get the Jewish people back 3 days into it, as they did not yet return. However, the Jewish people are now triumphantly already leaving Egypt, and God is protecting them with a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. Chapter 14, verse 9. Today we learn as Pharaoh continues to pursue the Jewish people. Vayirdefu Mitzrayim achareyim, and the Egyptians chased after them. Vayasigu esam, and they overtook them. Choynim alayam, and they reached them while they were resting by the sea. Kol sus rechav pari v'rashav, all Pharaoh's chariots and horses and his horsemen. V'chele, and the generals on them. Al pi achires, by pi achires, lefnei Baal Zephon, before Baal Zephon. Verse 10. Upare hikriv, and Pharaoh got close, got nearer. Vayisu b'nei Yisrael l'seinayim, and the Jewish people lifted their eyes and they saw. V'hinei Mitzrayim neisei achareim, and the Egyptians were coming right behind them. Vayiru miyoid, and they became very frightened. Vayitzaku b'nei Yisrael al Hashem, and they cried out to God. Upare hikriv, hoyele lichtei v'shuret said pare korev, pare came close. Mao hikriv, he became. Why does he say that he drew himself nearer? He tried to push himself more than everybody else to be in the front, like he made the deal with them. They say achreim, they say the word is to say noisim, plural, that they were traveling. And why does it say in a singular term? They were all one of the, like in one heart, one desire to be able to pursue and get the Jewish people. Another explanation. They saw the angel of Egypt that was traveling with them to fight against the Jewish people, to help them. And they cried out. They took the character and the way of what their forefathers did, that whenever they were in trouble, they prayed to God. By Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 3 times that they were in trouble, so to speak, they needed to know what to do. They prayed, and therefore they also realized that it's time for us to pray to God as well. Verse 11. And they said to Moshe, was there not enough graves in Egypt? That you took us to die in the desert. What is this you have done to us? That you have taken us out of Egypt. Rashi. Are there not enough graves in Egypt that you took us out of there to be able to, that we couldn't have been buried there? Verse 12. Isn't this the thing that we spoke to you in Mitzrayim in Egypt, saying, Chaldal mimenu, leave us alone, v'navdas Mitzrayim, and we'll serve Egypt. Kitev lanu avedas Mitzrayim. We are fine, we were doing better serving the Egyptians than dying out in the desert. Rashi says, when did they tell this to Moshe? If you recall, at the end of the Torah reading of Shmos, they said, God should judge you for what you have done. Mimu seinu. What does the word mimu seinu mean? Mus is not a noun, so how does it mimu seinu? Me'asher, it's a verb. Me'asher namus, from dying. V'imo yenoked mumlupim, if it would have a cholam on it, as it's known to the Bali Adiktuk. Cholam is called a mlupim. V'ayin lekam in Parshas Yisrei, pasuk yeven yifra tzayinivar. Over there it explains the word mimo seinu. Achshav shenoked b'shuruk nivar shmi asher numus. Not that over here we have a shuruk, it's coming to tell us from dying. So too we find this in other verses. Rashi gives examples. Anytime he changes a grammatical change and he shows the grammatical difference from one to the next, he tells us, he brings proof to his verses. And over here he also does that as well by bringing us later on where it says Miten Musenu. So too in Samuel Musi, and different places that he talks about what it refers to from dying, as it will, or the terminology mimusenu, from a certain experience, that I will get up and come back or return in the different places and verses that he mentions. Verse 13. And Moshe says to the people, Al tira'u, do have no fear. Hisyatzavu, stand firm, uru'u es Yeshuas Hashem, and see the salvation of God. Asher yaseh lachem hayom, that God will perform for you today. Ki asher yisem etz Mitzrayim, for the way you see the Egyptians now, hayom, today, leisesifu l'reisem adelam, you will never see them again. Verse 13. Ki asher yisem etz Mitzrayim, masher yisem oisam, the fact that you see them and you're getting concerned and you're worried. Eina ela hayom, it's only today. Hayom who? Today is the last time. Shari yisem oisam, you're going to see them. You'll never see them again. So don't you be concerned, don't you be worried. Yes, you see them, you're panicking, but you'll never see them again. Verse 14, Hashem yilachem lachem, God will do the battle for you, ve'atem tacharishun, and you are to remain silent. Bishvilchem, because of you. V'chein, as also ki Hashem nilcham lam, v'chein lakel terivun, v'chein asher diber li, v'chein atem terivun labal. Again, Rashi is bringing us different interpretations where it says, yilachem lachem, will do the battle for you, also saying this type of terminology that you will be arguing with the Baal, and so on, different places in Tanakh, this same terminology. This concludes the Torah reading for the second day of Parshas Beshalach, the second Torah reading for Monday, Parshas Beshalach.